In the words of a certain teddy bear, bum bum, let's all go to court. Bum bum, let's go make some law now. Yeah, 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 some law. Jong jong. So yeah, I kind of get it. Some of you are probably wondering, where the hell have all those videos gone? And where has Aiden been all week? It's probably only the first part you've been wondering, but as the title of this video will probably suggest, I got done for copyright. Bigly. Massively. Now, if you're a viewer of this channel, you'll probably know that my storytime videos use a lot of images in them. But like music and video footage, those images have owners. So you can imagine that my heart rate and blood pressure went a little high when I saw that the owners of said images would like a word, and would also like to know how many of those images I'd used over the last 12 months, which was when storytime became less sim driving car circles footage and stuff and actual pictures of the cars and people involved. Now, who this dispute was with is going to remain private. The agreement we came to is also going to be private. But all said and done, it's better than the alternatives. Court, red tape, having books thrown at you and so on and so forth. But since I got pinged by one copyright owner, to protect myself and the channel, I've basically had no choice but to pull down all of those videos. Something in the region of about 70 in total at last count, because some people aren't as forgiving as others. But the channel is still here, and I'm still here. I've just got to make some changes. If that means making storytime go back to how it was, with just R-Factor Assetto Corsa iRacing footage interspersed with Creative Commons images over the top, so be it. If it means re-uploading all of those storytime episodes with some channel art in the background just so they're back up and listenable again, so be it. Depends how you want them presented really, but podcast format, radio broadcast is probably the best way, because who wants to see my face? But like I say, the party involved was willing to sit down and discuss it. They realised it was an honest mistake, and I'm just a one-man band making content in his spare room that they actually ironically enjoyed watching. But needs must, they had to do what they had to do. Again, it could have been much worse. So the rebuilding job starts here. There will be storytime, there will be pressing issues, the content will still be here. It's just going to have to be presented in the old manner of a podcast with some public domain images to spice it up a bit. So yeah. This is part of the video anyway. The first half is to tell you what's been going on. The second part is, I just want to make people aware that this is real. This actually happens, and nobody is safe from it. We hear about music and video clips getting blocked, but images are subject to the same copyrights and licenses in the same way that music and video are. I was just lucky I was able to sort this out. The next person might be taken for everything they have. The person after that might be hit with a bill they can never afford, and the person after that will be in the courtroom taking on people with more money and better lawyers. But I guess once people were able to start monetizing stuff on YouTube, this was going to happen sooner or later. I wasn't the first person to be done this year, and I'm not going to be the last. But I know what some of you are thinking. Yeah, fair use. And yes, fair use exists, but fair use is a defense only to be usable in court and not in the description of a YouTube video. It's not the get out of jail free card that people think it is. Exhibit A? Me. So what about all those old storytime videos I was halfway through watching, I hear you cry? What I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure all of those deleted storytime episodes go back up. And if I manage to do 2 or 3 of those a week, it's going to naturally take some time. I'll start with the more popular ones, and then go from there. Naturally. Then if people want to learn more, then they can use Google. It's probably not the way people would want it to be presented, but I don't really have much of a choice. Funny really. I said in the early episodes of Storytime I used the sim racing footage because I get pinged immediately by FOM for using F1 clips. And here we are. Still, what can you do? And if you do have ideas of how I can do it, please let me know, I'm all ears. I'm like Andrew Marr. But most likely things will be more podcast based, which is how they were intended, but let's just cross bridges as we get to them. So yeah, this is the situation. It is a shitty one, but knowing the alternatives, then the way this was resolved is for the best. So thanks for listening, have a good one, and I'll try and get back to some sense of normality tomorrow for you. Bye.